Hello and welcome back to another weekend preview right here on the Football Zone. And today we are previewing a whole lot of Championship and Premier League action, starting off with a big game at the bottom of the Championship, Norwich v Brighton. This is the last chance saloon for Norwich, 7 points behind the survival with 6 games to go, and Brighton comfortably safe now, 6 points above the relegation zone. So for that reason, I can actually see Norwich picking up a narrow win here. I just think they've got more to play for, and they do have what it takes on their day, and I think today will be one of their days, so I'm going to say 2-1 Norwich. Next up at the King Power, it is Leicester v Crystal Palace. This is a massive game for Leicester. Been on a bit of a wobble since the season restarted. Just 3 points inside the Champions League places now, with Manchester United catching them every game. Crystal Palace, much less important for them really. They're in 12th place, not going into Europe, not going down. So I think Leicester should be able to get a win here, and I'm going to say 3-1 to Leicester. Next up at Old Trafford, Man United v Bournemouth. And to be honest, I've got a bad feeling about this one for Bournemouth. Man United have been on red hot form since the restart, and Bournemouth the opposite. They're 19th now, just inside the relegation zone, and Man United now just 2 points off a Champions League spot. And to be honest, I can see Man United picking up a ridiculously comfortable win here. So I'm going to say Manchester United 5, Bournemouth 0. Yes, 5-0. A good game coming up at Molineux this weekend. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Wolves v Arsenal. And I think Wolves might get a narrow win here. Wolves also now just 2 points off Champions League spot. Arsenal 6 points further behind and are in the Europa League spots. But I think Wolves will get a narrow win here in what should be a really decent game. So I'm saying in a high quality game, 2-1 to Wolves. Next up at Stamford Bridge, the last game on Saturday, Chelsea v Watford. Big game for both sides. Chelsea need a win just to ensure they're in the Champions League spots, and Watford just a solitary point above the relegation zone. And to be honest, Chelsea at home, I think they probably have more quality and will want to bounce back from last night's disappointing result. So I'm going to say a comfortable 3-0 home victory for Chelsea. Turf Moor, it's Burnley v Sheffield United. I'm going to say this will be a scrappy draw, to be honest. Both seasons are over, really. Can't see Sheffield United doing much. I think they've just fallen a bit too far. And Burnley in mid-table. So I think this will be a scrappy 1-1 draw and not really much to write home about, to be honest. At St James's Park, it's Newcastle v West Ham. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to this one. I think Newcastle will get the win here. They seem to have proved a lot since lockdown, and West Ham will be desperate to keep up their form after the win against Chelsea. But I can see Newcastle just picking up a narrow 2-1 win. But for two teams who are doing alright recently, it should be a good game. And I know I'm going to get laughed at for this next prediction, but hear me out. Liverpool v Aston Villa. Liverpool, I reckon, have been on the piss all week, and I think Villa will win. Villa just desperately need the win, and will Liverpool really be doing their best here? I doubt it, and I think Villa could just nick a win for a moment of Grealish brilliance or something like that. So I'm going to say 1-0 to Villa in what will be a huge result. Bad news for Southampton is that they have Man City next. I think Man City will pick up a comfortable win here. They'll be riled up after giving Liverpool the guard of honour. And I think they'll probably get a pretty comfortable win in the end. So I'm going to say 3-1 to Man City. And, well, both teams are over in terms of the league. So there's not really too much riding on this. Finally, in the Premier League, Tottenham v Everton at White Hart Lane, or whatever the new Tottenham ground's called. Another game I'm quite looking forward to be honest. Two good teams since the season restarted. And I think it should be a high quality game and pretty high scoring as well. So I'm going to say Tottenham will get the win though. And I think it will be 2-1 to Tottenham. And if my predictions are correct, here's how the Premier League table will look. Liverpool, of course, top by miles. The top four stays the same. Wolves still in the race. Tottenham go back above Arsenal. And then looking down, Burnley go above Sheffield United, I believe. And Watford drop in the relegation zone at the expense of Villa. And moving into the Championship now with Charlton v Millwall. This is a bit of a strange one. Two teams with something to play for, but both with not a lot to play for. Millwall 5 points off the playoffs in 11th, and Charlton in 18th, 4 points off the relegation zone. So both are unlikely to get into their respective battles, but both still have a small chance. And to be honest, I can see them cancelling each other out here, so I'm going to say one apiece. The first game on Saturday is a derby involving Derby v Forest, and to be honest, I'm quite looking forward to this one. Two teams on a great run of form, and I think this will be a really even game. I'm going to say 1-1. I think the two teams will cancel each other out. They're just that evenly matched. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. At Ewood Park, it's a big game between Blackburn and Leeds. Leeds top, 6 points clear of Brentford, and Blackburn 5 points off the playoffs. Both teams, I think they're pretty secure, but you just never know. And two good sides. I think Leeds will actually struggle, to be honest, but I can still see them coming away from Ewood Park with a point. So for the third successive game in a row, I'm going to predict 1-1. Griffin Park, it's Brentford v Wigan. I think Brentford will win this quite comfortably with the terrible news coming out of Wigan. Yeah, I just don't think it bodes well for Wigan, to be honest. And I'm going to say Brentford will pick up a 3-0 victory as they carry on their hot form, as they look to push for an automatic promotion spot that looks unlikely. I think Wigan will be fine this season, but then they've got the 12 points deduction coming next season, which really won't be handy. Another game I'm looking forward to, Bristol City v Cardiff at Ashton Gate. Two Welsh teams battling it out here, and I can see this being a draw actually. Bristol City haven't had the best start and their playoff hopes are all but over now. However, Cardiff's still in the playoff race. Will be desperate for a win here, but Ashton Gate is a really tough place to go, so I can see the two teams cancelling each other out here and ending in a 1-1 draw. At Craven Cottage, it's Fulham v Birmingham, and I think Fulham will get the win here. They got a crucial win after a pretty poor return to football against QPR in midweek, and Birmingham lost 3-0 at home to Huddersfield. And I think Birmingham will continue that poor run of form, as Fulham will look for a win just to make their playoff space even secure. Next up, it's Huddersfield v Preston. I can see these two teams cancelling each other out. Preston haven't had the best start to the season. Huddersfield dropped into the relegation zone, but obviously got a big win at Birmingham. So I'm actually quite looking forward to this game. But as it's at the John Smith, I think these two teams will end up drawing. And I'm going to say a ball draw 0-0, because it just feels like where these two clubs are at the moment. At Luton, it is Luton versus Reading. Surprised Luton are involved. And this is a big game for Luton, not so much for Reading. But Luton will see this as a real opportunity to get another win in their fight for survival. Reading have picked up just 1 point since the restart, and Luton now, although they sit at the foot of the Championship, just 3 points off survival. And I can see them picking up a big win here, to be honest. I'm going to say Luton 2, Reading 1. At the Britannia, it's a big game in a fight to stay in the Championship. Stoke v Barnsley. I just think Stoke have that little bit more quality, which should see them getting a crucial win here, which would significantly lower relegation risk and would be a big blow for Barnsley. But I can see Stoke picking up a comfortable 2-0 win here. At the Liberty, it's Swansea versus Sheffield Wednesday. This should be a tight game, in my opinion. Two teams with, well, not really a lot to play for. Swansea 4 points off the playoffs. It's unlikely that will happen, in my opinion. I think it's between Cardiff and Derby. And Sheffield Wednesday totally in the middle of the table. I think Swansea will pick up a narrow win 2-1 to keep slim playoff hopes alive. On the Riverside, it's Middlesbrough v QPR. And, well, we know what's going to happen here. Warnock's going to shit out a 1-0 win against QPR. QPR are already on the beach, it seems. They know their season's over. So I can definitely see Middlesbrough picking up the win here and I think it'll be a narrow 1-0 win, but that'll be more than enough in their fight to survive. And finally, West Brom v Hull. I think this could be an absolute thrashing, to be honest. Hull haven't won since New Year's Day. West Brom are just on the march, and I think they're imminently going to be a Premier League side, to be honest. And I can see this being a thrashing. I think it will be 4-0 to West Brom, and it'll just make Hull's situation even worse. And if my predictions are correct, here's how the table will look. West Brom and Leeds still comfortable at the top of the table, with Brentford now just 4 points behind them. Fulham overtake Forest into 4th. Derby are just behind Cardiff on goal difference. And then if we look at the bottom of the table, Hull dropped to 23rd, Luton up to 22nd, and it means Huddersfield are out of the relegation zone. Anyway guys, that's this video done. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the upcoming games in the comments below. Follow us on Twitter for daily football news, link in the description. And subscribe to all the other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.